Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel Know It. The International Monetary Fund has released its World Economic Outlook report for October 2020. And in this report, IMF said that India is set to drop below Bangladesh in terms of per capita gross domestic product this year. Yes, you heard it right. Bangladesh is set to take over India in per capita GDP. Now, the first thing you need to know here is what is per capita GDP? Now, there are a few ways to analyze a country's wealth and prosperity, and per capita GDP is one among them. But how per capita GDP is calculated? It is calculated by dividing the GDP of a country by its population. So, in this report, IMF projected that the Indian economy is expected to contract by 10.3% in the financial year 2020. So, it is negative 10.3%. According to IMF's report, India's per capita GDP is set to plunge to $1,877 this fiscal year, whereas Bangladesh's per capita GDP in dollar terms is expected to grow to $1,888. Until 5 years ago, India was 40% ahead of Bangladesh in terms of per capita GDP. So, what is the reason behind this fall? It's because of a nationwide lockdown imposed to contain the spread of COVID-19 pandemic in the country, and also pre-pandemic slowdowns in India, which existed because of few reasons like demonetization, GST, bad condition of NBFCs, etc. But how Bangladesh managed to achieve this? It's because Bangladesh's economic growth has been supported by a rapidly growing export sector, and they also have a stable growth in the savings and investment rate of the country. Uh, Bangladesh's government is also supporting their country's exports very well. Now, this lowered per capita GDP makes India the third poorest country in South Asia, with only Pakistan and Nepal forecasting lower per capita GDP. Countries like Bangladesh, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Maldives will all be ahead of India as per this economic forecast. World Economic Outlook database suggests that Indian economy is going to be the worst hit country from the pandemic after Sri Lanka. However, IMF has also noted that India may grow at an impressive rate of 8.8% in the next year, that is for 2021. India's this growth rate is going to cross China's projected rate of 8.2% for the next year. So, this growth rate is expected to push the country's per capita GDP ahead of Bangladesh in 2021 by a small margin. This will increase India's per capita GDP to $2,030 next year when compared to Bangladesh's $1,990. Now, let's talk about China, the country where virus outbreak originated, but now they have controlled the spread of virus, and it has a positive news coming from IMF. China has now become the only country in the world to show positive growth rate of 1.9% in the year 2020, while the United States is projected to contract by 4.3% for this fiscal year, and US is expected to grow by 3.1% in 2021. Now, IMF in this report continues to project a deep global recession in 2020, and the global growth is projected to be negative 4.4%. This is an upward revision of 0.8% points compared to its June month update. It indicates that the global economy is coming back from the depths of its collapse in the first half of this year. However, according to IMF, for emerging and developing economies excluding China, that is like countries like India and US, the future prospects continues to remain dim. The IMF warns that extreme poverty is likely to rise for the first time in more than 20 years. The IMF chief economist Geeta Gopinathan said that the poor is becoming poorer, with up to 90 million people expected to fall below the international poverty threshold of $1.9 per day. Yeah. So friends, that's all for now in this video. If you find this video helpful, then like and share the video, and also subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon for the latest updates. Thank you. Forget to press the bell icon for the latest updates.